Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to All Things Social Security. I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at Joy Disability. Welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the video. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and TGIF. And thank you to all of our deployed military members who can't be home with their families like we can be. That's what my Fridays are dedicated to, as the Red Fridays that they are. I appreciate so much what you all do. I can't even express it properly. And I know that a lot of people that tune in here do as well. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts and wish you all the safety and getting back home when the mission is done, um, that can be had. So thank you again, and thanks for paying attention. I appreciate. All right, so this came out April 2026, not that long ago. And this is out of the District of Louisiana. So I try to sprinkle all the states in there. Some just never seem to show up on these reports. I don't know. And I don't know that I've seen a lot of Louisiana, actually. So that's kind of why I picked it. So I'm like, oh, Louisiana. All right, so here's the title. And as you know, these are all from the Office of Inspector General reporting on fraud out of the Social Security Administration. I might butcher this name, but the town, I think, is Avondale. So an Avondale woman indicted. So that means she's not convicted, guys. So I'm not going to say her name because she's entitled to the presumption of innocence until and unless she is proven guilty in a court of law. So she's indicted for theft of Social Security disability benefits. What did she do? I have no idea. I haven't read it yet. But she was just indicted on April 2nd. She is 65 years old. The indictment includes theft of government funds. This is a really short one. Oh my goodness. According to court documents, around November of 2014 through November of 2023, so we're talking 9 years, the lady, trying to not say her name, even though they're popping it in front of my face, stole Social Security disability benefits, in the approximate amount of $65,000+, which was meant for the benefit of her 2 minor children. She faces a maximum term of imprisonment of 10 years, a fine of up to $250,000 restitution, as well as 3 years of supervised release, and a $100 mandatory special assessment cost. What a joke. Interestingly, you might say, well, if it's her kids, what does this mean? I'm guessing that she didn't have custody of her kids. If she had custody of her kids and they were receiving a dependent benefit, since it was Social Security disability, it had to be a benefit from one of their parents, and it was a dependency benefit. It wasn't like they had a disability or could get SSD on their own work record since they don't have one. SSD, just so you know, could never start before you're 18. A dependent benefit on a parent's SSD, of course, any age. So generally, it would be really hard for a parent with custody of kids to ever be accused of, I mean, I can't even fathom where it would happen, accused of taking the kids' money and not using it for their benefit. It's very easy to use it for their benefit. You take it and you use it to pay the rent. I mean, seriously, that's what people would, that need to do that do. They can't necessarily put it in a little savings account and save it for the kids for their futures. They have to. Disability dependent benefits are because of what the person that's the disabled person or the retired person or the dead person, if it's survivor benefits, would have been. It represents what they would have been paying to support the basic needs of the kids: shelter, food, basic recreation if there's enough, that kind of thing. So I don't want parents to be fearful that, oh my goodness, could I be in trouble for this with my kids? Because no, the SSA gives you a lot of discretion on how you choose to spend that. I have ideas on, keep a book. What was the rent? What's the proportionate amount? Use the money, take it out, and then it's, reimbursing you for that. But just keep it documented, right? And then for other purposes, perhaps. So the only thing I can imagine here is that she did not have custody of these kids. And somehow the dependent benefit for them from a disabled person, maybe their other parent, is disabled or passed away or is retired, you know, how that was not stopped before 9 years is insane to me, because someone who had the children, if this is the case, didn't know that mom is using their money that's supposed to be used to support them. You know what I mean? So let's say they were living with a different parent or with an aunt or something, because that money is supposed to be going to the custodial parent to help pay just the support for them. They don't say that in here. I wish they would get into a little more meat. They would be educating people a lot better, but I'm just one complainer. Anyway, interesting enough, nonetheless, particularly a little point about she was actually stealing her own kids' money. The money meant to support them, which she clearly wasn't supporting them, or else this would never have happened. So anyway, I thought it was interesting anyway. Anybody agree? Have a great weekend, guys. I hope to see you at Wednesday's 1 p.m. live stream, where we do question and answers on anything Social Security that you want to ask about. And if you would be so kind as to visit the 12 o'clock p.m. pre-recorded videos that we do every day, those are the ones that provide financial support for the mission that the whole channel is about. So that would be largely appreciated, and subscribe and like if you would. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys later. If I can figure out how to turn it off. It's always my problem at the end of this, right? Ever since they changed this whole thing about a week ago. Hello again. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful, if not just a little bit informative. In the event you have a Social Security question you want addressed, please feel free to make a comment below and ask the question, even if nothing to do with this particular video. And just a quick, again, reminder, we have our daily video shares and tips around noon every day of the week. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our live Q&A session where you can come in live and enter your questions in the chat. And we all pretty much have a good time for an hour or two. I look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. And lastly, don't forget about our benefactor memberships. They're very reasonably priced. The first one is very nominal, and you get a few perks, but on a bigger scale, it contributes to us being able to fulfill a mission of assisting certain people with representation that would otherwise not be able to get it. We look forward to continuing to do that, and so far it's working out like the bomb. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.